Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about what seems to be conversations or information coming out about somebody who did something and didn't really feel that bad, didn't feel like there would be any consequences, didn't feel like they needed to talk about it. Maybe they outright lied about whether or not they did this. Kind of feels like taking candy from a baby. Like everyone will be like, really? Really? You did that? We've got Page of Wands, the Justice in the reverse, and the Chariot in the reverse. So definitely someone headed on the wrong path or feeling like they don't really have to be concerned about consequences. This could be somebody who feels like they can always get out of whatever happens. They need to talk their way out of it. They're very convincing. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Winchanta. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Robert. What's going on? I'm sorry for the late start today. It was too nice outside for me to not go to the park. So I had to go to the park, and that was really nice. And I had some personal readings to do. But I also have launched memberships for my channel. Again, thank you to everyone who gave me some input in terms of what you would be interested in. I did find out that apparently you cannot do giveaways, sweepstakes, or lotteries. So even though I was most excited about offering a free reading once a month to members, I guess I cannot offer that, and I'm really sorry about that. But I tried to compensate for that. So there's 3 different tiers. $3.99, $7.99, or $24.99. The $24.99 actually gets you a reading every month, 3-card pull. So I'm excited about that. I hope you guys enjoy those options. If you would just like to have a personal reading with me, you can email me. It's wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box below. Hello, Richie Tata. How's it going? Hello, Steven. How are we doing? We're going to dive in with the situations deck and see what is going on with this person who doesn't seem to feel any remorse. I mean, they just think about themselves. I don't know. Access granted. So they broke in. Maybe they were a catfish because we have fake profile called out. They might have duplicated keys or taken someone's keys. But this is about access. And then we have waves. It says emotions coming and going. Came out in the reverse. Kind of feel like this is saying we've got somebody who really just thinks about the end result. If there are, if there's collateral damage, this person doesn't seem to really care. They're just thinking about what they need to have happen or what the steps are to, like, in between them and their wish fulfillment. We've got racing in the reverse and karmic in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like this is someone who got real comfortable, felt like because they have some sort of mask or shield or nobody will figure it out or, I'm really good at catfishing, so they're not going to pull me on the show or anything like that. I think this is just a little bit of arrogance. And with third-party relationship lesson in the reverse, I do think this is someone who does not learn their lessons. I don't know that this person has a lot of emotions, to be honest. Hello, Illuminati. How's it going? So we've got court, legal, paperwork, filed, today, present, in the moment, and escapade with family. So we've got concerns regarding consequences from a legal standpoint. We did have the Chariot in the reverse, and that can be a reference to law enforcement. So it's like somebody got away with it until now. They may have been kind of walking around like they were hot stuff because they thought things would happen earlier on. Then nothing happened. No one called them. They didn't end up in a jail cell. So they're like, all right, well, I think I did pretty well then. Looks like I'm smarter than they are. But maybe there was just a little bit of a delay in terms of putting all the pieces together. I'm seeing like a puzzle. It takes time, right? So this person was kind of hiding, but got more bold as time went on because they felt like, okay, well, now starting to look like they haven't figured out it was me, so no big deal. And I do feel like they said something they shouldn't have to someone in their inner circle, or if they were trying to not be caught, like if this person's literally on the run, they over time felt like it was okay for them to go to a location where they would be expected to be found, right? Like brother's place, mom's place, whatever. This connection is the thing that leads to probably somebody going to jail. They get a little bit too comfortable, I guess. They feel like, well, I think it's just like not going to happen. I think I'm all right. I think I'm in the clear. So I'm going to go back to living my life the normal way. Hello, Aqua Beauty. How's it going? Hello, James. How's your day? Some people just don't get there, you know? We can't assume that others feel emotions the same way that we do. Hierophant in the reverse. Two of Swords in the reverse. This wasn't one of those things where, oh, I have to like make a decision. If I choose this, then I like get the money I want, or I get the job that I want, or I get revenge, whatever. But if I choose this, then, you know, someone else doesn't have problems, or, you know, I don't ruin an unrelated person's life. No. It wasn't a decision at all. It was, this is what I need to do. I just throw this person under the bus and then I'm good. Okay, cool. I did not ever watch it, but I feel like there was a movie with Cameron Diaz. I think it was just called The Box. So many jokes, so little time. I will make those jokes on the members only, by the way. But it was, I'm pretty sure, something along the lines of you get $1 million, but like someone somewhere else like dies. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off, but it's like that idea of maybe if I'm far enough removed from whoever actually deals with the consequences, it doesn't matter to me. And then I get the money, right? This is somebody who is very good at distancing themselves from the realities of other people and really just focusing or thinking about what's in it for me. What do I want? What do I benefit from? Because I don't care about those other people, which is kind of interesting considering they consider at least somebody to be family or a part of their inner circle. The question would be, is it more about what do those people offer, or, you know, is it a actual connection? So we have the Six of Wands, the Devil. This is, I got away with it. I did what I wanted to do. I gave in to temptation. I did that thing that I wasn't supposed to do. And I got away with it. They're getting a little smug. I feel like they told someone. This is like somebody talking to their cellmate about their other crimes. I guess that could be it. Inner circle doesn't have to be people you're actually related to, right? Five of Cups. 10 of Swords. It's like, I really don't like that. It's not that this person regrets that they did something to hurt someone or that someone got hurt while they were going after what it was that they wanted. It's more so if I didn't actually have any consequences, I should have done that earlier. I should have done that more. I didn't realize it was that easy. I should go back and steal more money, or I should go back and you know, I'm not going to suggest crimes on my channel. This is not going like this person's like, oh, I guess I'm pretty good at it, and maybe I should do it again. I do feel like this is about money or it impacts a family. So this could be, like I don't really like that, but somebody who doesn't seem to be concerned that their love interest is already in a relationship or has a family. Or we could have somebody who does not feel bad about taking money from others or the impacts it might have on those people because they just think about the fact that they need that money. It's me versus you. So I feel like this person just does not have a lot of empathy, to be honest. Ace of Cups in the reverse. I don't think have experienced a lot in the way of kindness or generosity from others. So I do feel there's a sense of like I'm justified in how I act because nobody gives a crap about me. So if no one cares about me, then I'll just do whatever I want. It's kind of like, y'all been mean to me, so I'm gonna be mean to you too. You're not invited to my birthday party. And we're gonna have ice cream cake too. Man. Tower. Queen of Swords. Two of Wands. The thing is, there were consequences that were immediate, and I think that's what they thought were going to basically lead to problems for themselves, right? But they did what they could, try to make it seem like, nothing really happened. I feel like this is like shoving something under the rug. This is somebody who I think felt like they covered all their bases. They did what they needed to do. They had a plan. They followed it. But I really do feel like this person has little to no emotion coursing through them. If you were to do like a blood test, it would be a higher percentage of Pop-Tart than emotions. I'm hungry. Can you tell? Don't worry. I'm not going to eat Pop-Tarts. Hello, Laura. How's it going? Hello, Kevin. How's your day? Yeah, I really try, Kevin, to not use that word because I feel it is sometimes thrown around, but I do feel it would perhaps be that, or even, this looks to me like sociopathy, not really caring about other people, right? Hello, Third Eye. How are you doing? Hello, random user. Yeah, I would agree. That's why they're called spells, right? So 9 of Wands in the reverse and the 4 of Cups in the reverse. Well, yeah, I think this is more of that. Okay, so if I didn't have consequences for that thing that I did that I don't feel guilty about, taking candy from a baby, taking money from my grandma, whatever they did, it could be that, right? Whatever they did, it's like if I didn't have any consequences for it, then maybe I should do this again. Maybe I should see what grandma has today for cash. Please do not do any crimes because of this reading or in general. Like I'm not encouraging it. 4 of Swords in the reverse. So 2 4s in a row. It's like pushing your luck, right? I feel like they were already potentially facing these consequences from whatever the first situation was. Now they're sitting here thinking, oh, I'm pretty good. I'm going to do this again. And it speeds things up. Seven of Swords, King of Wands in the reverse, and the Sun. So because they get bold and decide to repeat the offense, there's a problem here. I can't tell anyone where I got that money, or, somebody saw me doing what I was doing. Whatever it is with the Sun, this is the truth coming out. This is somebody saying, so that's what happened. And all of a sudden, now it was the Queen of Swords. I really I'm hesitating because this is my favorite card in all the lands. And this is the person who's doing this shady stuff. But they did, I think, have a pretty high opinion of themselves in terms of intelligence, and started to feel like they were smarter than the cops, smarter than their family, smarter than the people around them. Now they're this King of Wands in the reverse because something has basically made it clear they were a little bit arrogant, and now there are definitely going to be consequences. This is the Metamuse. Yep, exactly. Hello, Tim. How are you doing? Nice. Hello, Santiago. King of Cups, Judgment, Page of Cups. This King of Cups is not the Queen of Swords. The King of Cups is probably somebody who has figured out what's going on. So this could be somebody who has, let's say it's, grandma. She figured out that her cash is missing. And because there's now another time that this Queen of Swords decided to do that, the King of Cups then is able to say, okay, well, that was the same day that, my niece came to visit me. So I think I'll just put two and two together and figure out it's probably my niece. There's something here about the repetition of, something happening that makes it easier for this King of Cups to figure out what's going on, because Judgment can be about something like coming back around, right? Like there's folks climbing out of coffins, But it's also a reference to the fact that sometimes you just have to let sleeping dogs lie. This person did not know how to do that, not even a little bit. And that's the trap they were always meant to fall into, because they are remorseless or because they are arrogant and they felt like they're not going to get caught for what they did. So the universe is like, maybe not that time, but you're going to do it again, aren't you? And we'll be here. And probably some other person that's going to catch you. So probably go with Before the Fall, right? The Tree of Life, Queen of Pentacles, Three of Cups. I feel there is somebody who is loyal or has morals. So we could have a sibling, we could have a close friend, we could have a coworker, somebody who has those morals that this Queen of Swords lacks. This could be our King of Cups, right? They notice what's wrong. And because they have morals, because they don't want to be participating in something that is heartless or cruel or whatever, illegal, they feel like they need to do something. So this is how information starts to spread, and maybe even law enforcement is called, but there's gears moving, right? It was at a standstill. Nobody knew what was going on or nobody said anything. But now that's not true. Now things are starting to process. And it looks like this Queen of Swords is going to have some explaining to do. Ace of Wands. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Six of Wands in the reverse. You can't see it. But at the top of this column, we have the Six of Wands in the upright. Pride goeth before the fall. This person was like, I did it. Nobody caught me. I'm so smart. SMRT. Nope. Laura, I don't know if you were thinking about the same thing as me, but what was going through my head right there is, I think his name was Dr. Cox on Scrubs. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong. I probably did it wrong. But the sentiment stands. This person really was like out here telling people, or at least one person, I feel like they were bragging about it. Look what I did. And with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, I feel like it's because this could be a reference to somebody who is doing something for the money. But I feel like this is also somebody who was so confident that they couldn't keep this to themselves. They had to brag about it to somebody. Like, hey, you, let me tell you about how cool I am. I got away with it. Have you never seen any of those shows or those movies or like freaking Scooby-Doo? Like, yeah. Anyways. Pride goeth before the fall. Now this person is actually getting caught. We have the legal card come out. Somebody has a strong case. Somebody has the evidence. That's a valid point. Hello, Jamie. How are you doing? Hello, Matt. How's your day? Hello, Mike. I hope you're having a good day. Queen of Cups in the reverse. This is pretty cut and dry. I feel like for most of you, this is somebody who, like, there's video evidence, there's a phone call, or there's, like, it's undeniable. Because this Five of Wands is the same lady copied and pasted all over the card. Strength, Five of Wands in the reverse, and the Queen of Cups. You cannot fight this because it's fighting against yourself. But Your Honor, I was lying then. You know, I'm telling you the truth now. Bet. Okay, I don't believe that. Yeah, sure. Okay. Doesn't go over very well. They can't actually argue anything on behalf of themselves because there is maybe just like, you know, grandma got one of those teddy bear cams and it showed that this person was taking money out of her purse. But we've got the Queen of Cups in the reverse. It does look like someone is able to show that this Queen of Swords was doing something that was really just, you know, like, well, I'm just thinking about myself. I don't care if it means you can't, you know, afford cereal or milk or eggs or whatever. I'm going to take what I want. This is the Pulp Tarot. Awesome. What else do we have? The Fool. And the Knight of Swords. Ooh, sorry, and the Queen of Cups. So I feel like there was somebody that had already kind of started putting together a pretty clear idea that this Queen of Swords was the person that was taking money out of grandma's purse. That's just an example. You know what the story actually is, okay? And as they were, kind of figuring it out or gathering some evidence, that's when this Queen of Swords is like, I'm gonna do it again. I got away with it. This is great. I'm gonna go grab another hundo. It's great. I'm gonna go shopping. Nobody will know. But I feel like this Queen of Cups is like grandma sitting in the corner in the dark, waiting for you to go. Like, oh, well, hello, Tommy. Like all of a sudden a light comes on. I knew you were going to do it again. This is somebody who feels confident enough to go for another, theft of money or whatever, another run. And the person that they are taking from is like right there waiting. Nine of Swords. I knew you were going to do it again. So I waited around and sure enough, here you are. So thank you. You make it a lot easier for me to make sure something happens or that this doesn't happen again. It's very fast moving energy, the Knight of Swords. So kind of feels a little bit like entrapment. What else do we have? Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Temperance. Knight of Cups in the reverse. See, because there's somebody here who played this Queen of Swords like a fiddle. I mean, we talk about people being two-faced and it's not a compliment, is it? Can't rely on you. I don't know which energy I'm going to get from you. That's what I get from this Temperance card, but it's not necessarily in a negative light. It's more that we have somebody that was willing to kind of like go along with what the Queen of Swords was saying and pretend that it wasn't an issue or pretend that that was like, whatever, no big deal. But they're the King of Cups, right? This is the person who was like, okay, I'm pretty sure the Queen of Swords is the one who took grandma's money. That's the person who's sitting here with like a cup of tea, just like waiting for another theft. With the Knight of Cups in the reverse, there's anger from the Queen of Swords. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe I have to face consequences. I can't believe I've been caught. But they're also mad at this King of Cups, Queen of Cups, whoever it is that has, basically caught them. Because reasons, I mean, I don't think they could say loyalty is an issue. It's like, but you're probably stealing from your grandma. You're doing something that already shows that you don't have loyalty, but they're expecting loyalty from someone else, which is special. I don't think I would do that, but a lot of things I wouldn't do in this reading. What else do we have? Nine of Wands in the reverse, Seven of Wands, and the Devil again. Yeah. I think this is somebody who went back for more, figured, another round wouldn't hurt because I didn't get caught the first time. And that's when somebody was like ready and waiting. I knew you were going to do this. I knew you would try. Gotcha. I think they probably would have had some consequences even if they hadn't tried to go back for another 100. But they expedite things. They make it easier for somebody to press charges or to, make it real clear this is the person who did the thing. Ace of Cups in the reverse, Hermit, Two of Swords. The thing is, this is somebody who has a reputation for not really being very considerate or genuine. Remember at the beginning, we had this access granted card. This is somebody who I don't think has a lot of friends, but they may selectively turn on the charm when they feel like they can get something from someone. So I'm going to tell you about one of my red flags that I completely blew past, okay? There was somebody who told me that they were an asshole to everybody except for me. That's not a compliment, you guys. That's a problem waiting to blow up in your face, okay? This is somebody who is not nice. Just in general, people do not feel like this Queen of Swords is cuddly. You don't want to ask them for a hug. Don't ask them for a favor. They're not going to do it for you. But they were nice to somebody that they wanted something from. They may have been catfishing. They may have just been, cozying up or trying to be friends with somebody because they felt like they could take something. Remember, emotions in the reverse. But because this person doesn't really have emotions or has not made a lot of friends, doesn't connect to people in a genuine way, now that they are actually faced with consequences, they got no one to turn to. Ace of Cups in the reverse. There's no one here to you can't call anyone. Maybe a lawyer. That's cool. They don't actually love you, or some lawyers actually do care. I'm not going to put them all in a group, but this is difficult for the Queen of Swords in part because they have worked so diligently to keep themselves at a distance from others. This is the Earth and Bone Oracle. Hello, Upper Echelon. How are you doing? What else do we have? Blood Moon, number 8. Illusion, uncertainty, confusion, secrets, egotism, and narcissism. Yeah. See, I didn't even have to say it. Spirit guides were like, yeah, that's probably right. This person does not care about other people. They think about what they can get. What do you have that I need? 39, portal, originality, idealism, progression, opening, and accessing. Access granted. They fooled someone. This could also be like a love scam, right? I actually don't have any interest in you romantically. I would never be attracted to you, but I'm going to make you think that I am because I want you to give me money, or, I want you to think that I look like this, but I don't. This is somebody who got access and was manipulative, misleading. They were misrepresenting themselves because they want money, prosperity. I want to get close to this person or gain access to their home or their accounts because I want what they have. All right, so this is the Gypsy Oracle. What else do we have? Melancholy and journey in the reverse. I feel like this is the person who has been, can I say bamboozled? Is that cool? The person who was scammed or the person who was perhaps stolen from. This is somebody who is upset because I feel like some plans fell through or somebody flaked on them. We were supposed to meet. We were supposed to get married. We were supposed to, be in love. We were supposed to go to your graduation. There's something here about, I thought we were connecting or that we were close, but it's really just all about what's in it for you, isn't it? I guess you really don't care. So we have Lord in the reverse and money. What is the Lord also like? The Hierophant in the reverse. What was the first card out from the Egyptian tarot? Hierophant in the reverse. They have no morals. They just want money. Anytime I get that kind of energy, I can't help it, you guys. I see Charlie's mom and Charlie in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's such a, I know it's an offensive show, so it's probably not everybody's cup of tea. But you know, the I need money, money me now, that kind of thing. A lot less funny. This person is really just out to get money. And I think they're finally getting consequences because they got greedy. We have malady in the reverse. We could have somebody who was pretending to go to the doctor or was pretending to be sick or even like asleep. And that's when somebody was trying to take advantage. We could have a caretaker that was stealing. Whatever it is, this is somebody who gained access under false pretenses or by pretending to be, you know, someone with a heart, by pretending to care. They were really just in it for themselves. This is the energy oracle. Hello, Matt. What's going on? Yeah, that requires so much effort, though. Third chakra, Archangel Shamuel, 37, and number 45, man holding a heart. So this man holding a heart is the King of Cups. This could be the person who was scammed, right? Because the King of Cups is either the person who got taken advantage of or the person who picked up on those clues and realized this Queen of Swords was not to be trusted. But the third chakra is about self-expression. So I think for the majority of you, this is somebody who was being lied to, maybe catfished, maybe scammed, and they stood up for themselves. They were ready to prove what this person was up to. Blossoming abundance, number 3. It's important to make sure that if you have blessings, prosperity, obviously, that you're not surrounded by people who just covet it or want to take what you have. So it's really great that we have somebody protecting what they have, not because tangible assets are the most important thing in life, but because when you have prosperity or blessings, there will always be people that want to take that from you. This is someone who wanted to believe that someone was really, you know, a good person or really cared about them. And they stopped lying to themselves about the reality of the situation so that they could avoid further problems with this Queen of Swords. So no longer living in an illusion helps them to protect what's theirs, right? This is the truth is, I kind of forgot for a second, you guys. What else do we have? Money problems. Lack of money is causing tension. Delusional. False beliefs about the relationship. And love magician. You have the power to transform this connection. So I feel like we have our King of Cups, Queen of Cups. At one time was a bit delusional. I can't help but think of shows like, what is it, 90 Day Fiance, I think, where we've got somebody who doesn't really want to be honest with themselves, or like Catfish, that maybe this person's not being honest. They just wanted money. So now I think there is quite the reality check, and somebody has realized, okay, maybe it's not helping me to pretend that everything's okay. All right, this is the Zodiac fortune telling cards. I think they did. They may not have known it at all, but they will now. Wealth inherited from an unexpected quarter. For many of you, this is a test before a large blessing comes your way. If you're about to have a windfall, I'm not saying you're going to go win the lottery. If you're going to buy tickets anyways, go for it. But some of you have a lot of prosperity coming your way, and you were kind of tested by the universe first. Like if somebody gets access to you or tells you everything that you want to hear, are you going to hand over everything that you have to them? I think for many of us, we get to a point in our journey where we have to be reminded that intuition and discernment, they're supposed to be used, much like a second language. I love speaking Spanish, but I don't get the opportunity to do it very often, which is why I listen to, Paulina Rubio, for example. You got to have an opportunity to like flex that muscle, so to speak, right? If you get too comfortable or lonely, want to believe that somebody is there for you and not for other reasons, you could put at risk the blessings that are about to be bestowed upon you. So this, I feel for many of you, is a test. Are you going to be able to distance yourself or, be honest with yourself about a situation if someone is using you? You have or will receive unexpected pleasure. That's a good one. So yes, you might be dealing with somebody who's fake, but don't let that, don't let that convince you that there aren't good people out there. Like I said, for some of you, this is a test. You got to pass that first. You are one who stands by a person who needs you. And I love that about you, but you have to make sure you're not getting taken advantage of. There are a lot of big hearts out there that have been convinced of sob stories that were not true. The universe wants to empower you with prosperity, but they want to make sure that you're going to wield that power in an intelligent and intuitive way, not being fooled by people, being able to call people out when you notice what's going on. These are important things, right? Persist and you will be more successful. All right. So no matter how hot they are, remember, it's your responsibility to make sure they're real. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. And I hope to see you on the next reading. Doodles.